Harry Sisson and Chris Mowery. Remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about Biden's woke red guard, the Biden youth, the new Hitler youth, just a lot more soy, right? A lot weaker. Harry Sisson and Chris Mowery are two of the TikTok grifters, for lack of a better word, that the Biden administration has contracted out. Let's call it what it is, more than likely. We don't have any definitive proof, but we'll get to that in a minute. Has contracted out to push left-wing agenda to Gen Z on social media for them. Now, don't know who okayed this. They've been in a lot of hot water lately. People have been calling them out for being signed to the same. All of these kids are signed to the same talent agency. They push very similar propaganda, and the videos are just really cringy. They're screaming at the top of yelling and screaming at the top of their lungs, deep breaths. Like if someone cut out just the breaths, then it sounded like a porno tape. Like it was bad. These kids are like 19, 20 years old. It's some of the cringiest stuff I've ever seen. And they go on and they recite boomer left-wing talking points till they're blue in the face and push them onto kids. And I don't know if your kid's falling for this crap. Like I said, pull them out of public school first off, but you failed as a parent. Like the propaganda that they've pushed, I'm not even going to share any. We shared it a couple weeks ago. The propaganda these kids push and the way they package this message is so cringy and so poorly done. You would have to be a brain-dead, knuckle-dragging Neanderthal to actually fall for it. Well, these people made the mistake. These two kids, Harry Sisson and Chris Mowery, made the mistake of taking an interview on the Tim Dillon show. And I don't know who greenlit this. Their agent should be fired for this if you're the Democratic Party, if you're the DNC. Go ahead and check out this video of Harry Sisson and Chris Mowery, a clip from their interview on the Tim Dillon show.
To be honest, like it's actually really hard in this space, right? Like we have like 45 seconds to record a video, keep people's attention. And a lot of the people on our side, like if they start hearing, like I've actually done it before. I've criticized like Democrats, like specifically Hakeem Jeffries, and it all just went south. Like I started losing followers. Like it's bad, right? And I really want to be that person that like reaches the other side because Democrats, I mean, they're horrible at their jobs, right? They do a lot of shitty things, although I'll vote for them all the time. But it's also hard in the space to criticize them.
That's a good, can we clip that quote? They're horrible
please
at their
don't.
jobs.
Please
they do shitty things.
don't clip that.
Them.
Please, no, please.
If that wasn't the most Gen Z moment politically active Gen Z moment I've ever heard, right? Sometimes I criticize people on my own side when they do the wrong thing, but it loses me followers, so I stopped doing it. Also, they're really bad at their job. They do horrible things, but I vote for them all the time. See, first off, that guy's agent getting Clinton'd. Like, that guy's gone. Whoever let them go on to that show. I mean, put him on Oprah or Ellen or The View or something like that, for God's sakes. Don't put him on a show where someone's actually going to question him. They can come on this show. That's cool. We'll have fun with him. He might piss himself when he sees the AR-15 sitting in the corner of the room, because that was the kid that the other one was not the one talking. He was the one talking about how shooting a gun apparently made him wet himself because it was so scary and intimidating. You've shot guns. You're 5'3" female. Did you urinate yourself? Were you trembling in fear?
I actually did.
You did?
Yeah.
But that was because of a different issue. It didn't have anything to do with the gun. It was just an incontinence thing.
You're not supposed to tell anybody.
Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to keep that on the DL. My bad. So here's my thing. What these kids do is they post these little clearly scripted TikTok videos, right? And they'll yell for 45 seconds to a minute about how great Joe Biden is and how much they love Joe Biden. You know it's fake because there ain't a 19-year-old out there that loves Joe Biden. They just don't exist. And this right here, what you just saw in that clip, is a perfect example of the two different types of people in show business when it comes to getting in front of a microphone or a camera and pushing a point of view. There's two types of people. There are actors and there are comics. And I don't mean that in the traditional sense necessarily. I don't mean actors necessarily as in the Brad Pitt screen actors. And I don't mean comics as in Dave Chappelle stand-up. Now, those people do fall under that category, but that's not what I'm talking about. When I say actors, people that push a political point of view, actors, they are people that they write a script, and they may actually believe what they're saying, right? Or it may be fed to them. They write a script out, they record it over and over and over again until they get it right. Every single line. They get them right. They hit where they want to hit. They have the right tone of voice and inflection. They don't mess up any of their lines. They very, very rarely ad-lib or riff, and that's what they roll with. Those are actors. And then there's comics. Comics are more likely to riff. Comics are more likely to engage, spray squirt bottles at their producers, right? We have more fun. We go off the dome. Now, I have a laptop in front of me, right? And that's so I can read the articles, and because this is a segmented show, so I need to stay on task. I don't want to go off too far off the beaten path. I want to know where the show's going next, right? I don't write a script out. I have talking points. I'll think of it while we're doing the pre-show or, while I'm going about my day or during the week or whatever, and I'll go, oh, I don't want to forget that. That's a good point. And I'll write 2 or 3 words down to remind myself to hit that. So you will see me look down from time to time, and sometimes I'm just getting ready for the next segment. But I don't have it scripted out. Like, I have a couple words here. I'll have quotes and little things to remember so I don't talk like an idiot when I'm just presenting the news as facts. But it's not a scripted show. We riff on this show. And typically, people that don't riff, people that go off a script, people that have very, very structured lines and talking points and have it all written out word for word and know what they're going to say, those people, when they are put in compromising situations, don't do particularly well. They're perfectly fine until they go off the script, and then they put their foot in their mouth. And a lot of the time, they end up telling on themselves. Like when they say things like, oh, I don't know, I'd like to criticize people on my side, but it loses me followers. Or, Democrats are horrible at their jobs. They do horrible things, but I still vote for them all the time. They tell on themselves. You have no principles. You have no original thoughts. You have no viewpoints of your own. You are a brain-dead vassal that's fed talking points by the regime, and you push them out on behalf of a machine that's much larger than you. You've never produced an original thought in your lives. You just push out garbage that you're paid to. And yes, they're paid to. Thank you for asking. Harry Sisson and Chris Mowery, both of their... allegedly paid to. I don't want to get sued. Both of their Twitter accounts and TikTok accounts, if you want to get a hold of them, you can email them, harry@palettemanagement.com or Chris Mowery @palettemanagement.com. Now, remember, political parties, whenever they have a bill, whenever they have a receipt, it has to be made public information. The Democratic Party, between August 4th, 2022, and October 19th, 2022, paid Palette Management for online advertising $210,000. Now, Chris Mowery and Harry Sisson love to say that they haven't been paid. On the record, they haven't been paid by the DNC. They haven't been paid by Hillary Clinton. They haven't been paid by Joe Biden or the deep state. That's all true. No one cut a check directly to them. Palette Management was paid because that's how entertainment works. You pay the management companies. Palette Management was paid, and they paid them their salary. Now, they may very well be, these kids are useful idiots. They may very well be using these kids and telling them, oh, don't worry, you've got all these other deals coming. Just keep pumping this content out. This is, don't worry about where this money's coming from. This is an investment we're making in you. They may actually be telling these kids things like this. I don't know. It's over the top. It's ridiculous. It's unoriginal. And it's regime-fed talking points to a T. It's rehearsed. It's garbage, and worst of all, it's just cringy. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked what you saw, be sure to click the link in the description to get the full episode on Rumble. If you prefer to listen along, you could actually get us on Spotify, Spreaker, and iHeartRadio. You can also go to www.outlawstreamers.com to learn more about not just my show, but tons of other great shows and all the exciting projects they have coming up. Follow my socials at Caleb Isn't Funny on Twitter and Instagram, at Caleb Salvatore Comedy on the Chinese Spy app that is TikTok, and be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Thanks, and we'll see you every Saturday for brand new episodes of That's Based. Peace.